What's going on? It's Jordan here. Today we're going to be doing 16 photography items under £50 that will improve your life. So when I was coming up with the idea for this video, I thought of 16 things that I use every time I'm doing photography and things that are just generally helpful to own when you're doing any sort of photo related stuff, whether you're out and about or in a home studio, something like that. I just wanted to find the best things that I find useful that can be applicable for any sort of photography situation. So I figured I would preface this by saying you already have a camera and you already also have a photography bag. It doesn't have to be one like mine, but as long as you have stuff that you can travel equipment with, then I'm sure you'll get on just fine. If you want to know what bag that is, and if you'd like me to do a review on it, please let me know in the comments, because I'm always willing to show off what I own and what I use every day. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Starting off, I have got an SD card case. This is one of the best things you'll have within your photography bag. Just a nice way to organise stuff. I only have a couple in here because I've got various SD cards in different cameras currently. This one I've got, I believe it's watertight and can hold up to 8 SD cards. Yeah, I like to keep a penny in it so I can screw things in. However, later on in the video I'll show you another tool that I use for doing that sort of thing. But yeah, an SD card case is definitely 100% something that you will definitely need. Number 2 on this list, I have a UV filter. I keep one of these on every single lens in my bag. They just screw on, really nice and easy, as you can see. They just help to keep the lens a little bit more safe, and I like them because it's just a little bit of added protection, stops your lens from getting scratched and things like that. So I find it a really useful bit of kit. Obviously you have to get the right size thread for your lens, but they're a guaranteed thing that I will always use within my photography. Following on from that, in number 3, I have an ND filter case. This one is from K&F Concept. As you can see, it's a nice sort of half leather, half fabric style one. It's got a Velcro, it just opens up. You can fit 3 different lens filters in here, as you can see. And I'll get into what I keep inside of this in just a second. So at number 4 on my list, I like to carry around with me every time I'm out a variable ND filter. This one is again from K&F Concept. If you twist it, it gets darker, and likewise if you twist it the other way, it gets brighter so you can see inside. It's basically sunglasses for your camera. This is a necessary thing, especially if you're doing any sort of video work, or if you want to do, like I do quite often, long exposures during the day. It's a necessary item. I believe it's something you should always have in your bag. It doesn't have to necessarily be a variable one, but variables are much easier because you don't have to carry around 4 or 5 different ND filters for your camera. Again, make sure you get the right threading size for your lens, and you'll be good to go to do whatever sort of project you like. Now, number 5 on my list, I also carry around a Polarizing filter. Again, just screws on nice and easy. This is, if you've ever used Polarizing sunglasses, they help with reflections and lens flares and stuff. So they're really, really useful things to have. I find it really necessary to carry around, especially if you're around, say, snowy conditions. It just helps bring a bit of glare off of the lens. And yeah, I find it a really useful bit of kit to have, and definitely something I would recommend carrying around with you in your bag. So that's it for my filters. I only have them ones, and I carry them in this nice case, as I said. Also in the back of this case, there's a little slot in the back where I like to keep one of the cleaning cloths that come with the filters. So yeah, just a nice way to store things and keep everything nice and safe. Number 6 on my list, spare batteries. These are arguably one of the most important things you'll ever need when it comes to photography. Saying if you're doing a wedding, you can have your battery life eaten up so quick, especially if you're doing video work. So I always like to carry 2 extra, which means I have 3 in total, and this usually lasts me a long while. When I was out doing a full day of photography in Iceland, I only actually ended up using 1 battery, but it's always good to have 2 spare. When I'm doing weddings, sometimes you have to flick between batteries and SD cards, and it's just nice to have 2 fully charged, ready to go whenever you need. Number 7 on my list is a miniature light. This is literally just a little travel light. It charges via micro USB-C even. It just literally on and off. You can change the hue and the brightness of it. It's got a little hot shoe stand in the bottom, so you can either screw it into a tripod or put it directly on the top of your camera if you don't have a flash. but I like to set it up just like this, sort of in a little different area. It gives you a little bit of extra lighting from time to time if you need it, and it's useful as something small that you can just sort of move along a shot. Say if you're doing product photography or something, or if you're doing a video and you just need a little shining light going across, that's really useful case for this thing. So yeah, I would 100% recommend always traveling, especially if you're in somewhere like inside of a car where it's going to be dark and you just need a little extra light. Very, very useful to have. And number 8, obviously a lens cloth. This is going to be your best friend when you're out and about shooting or in a studio. If dust gets on your camera or anything, you just want to quickly get off. One of the best things you'll ever have in your camera bag. I always carry about 3 or 4 with me. I still have some in the packets from all of the filters that I've bought, but I just like to carry them in my bag, loose, just in some of the crevices and stuff. It's just a really, really nice and easy way to wipe stuff off your lenses and keep everything nice and clean. And number 9, I always carry around with me a power bank. This lets me charge up my phone and any other things that aren't my main camera really quick. It's got USB and a USB-C charging, so I can charge up my phone if I need it. Say I'm on a shoot and it's somewhere cold, the battery will drain quite quick. Or if my brightness needs to be particularly really high, your phone battery will just die really fast. So it's always useful to have one of these. This can charge my phone about 2 times over. I like to put stickers on all of my things just so I know what's mine. But yeah, a really useful bit of kit to have. Obviously, you'll always need one. If you're traveling, for example, it's always like your best friend to have one of these so you can keep in contact and on the go with everything. And number 10, I like to have this mini little camera bag. This is something that I'll always find really useful if you just want to take one lens, one camera. You can fit a bit of extra stuff. It's got a little mesh bit up here. I like to carry a lens cloth and my extra batteries. It fits one camera and a spare lens as well if you need. I use this when I'm hiking. It's really, really useful. It just keeps your camera a little bit more safe, and so that if you're, say, going up a mountain, for example, you don't have to carry a full camera bag full of gear. You can just put this in your hiking bag. Keeps it nice and safe, nice and easy to get things in and out of. It's got 2 extra pockets on the side, this one. I like to keep a rain cover in there just in case it is going to get a little bit extra wet. And yeah, so I think it's a really, really useful thing if you don't want to take your full camera gear with you, but you just need a couple of essentials. It's got shoulder straps, so you can just hook it over your shoulder, have it by your side, quick access, get your camera out, bang a few photos, and then put it back away really quick and easy. And number 11, I have a shutter release cable. I like to do a lot of night photography and long exposure stuff. This simply, with sort of an aux cord, plugs into the side of your camera. You can press and hold for long exposures and stuff. And it's really useful. Say you just set your camera up on a tripod, you don't want to press the button even if it's on a delay timer. Having one of these will just make things quicker and easier and reduce camera shake if you're going to have it. Obviously you want a nice sturdy tripod for that anyway, but this really helps, and I've had some really great results with long exposure photography using one of these, so it's something I'll always recommend. It's really nice and small and compact, and it's just really easy to put in your bag and keep with you for any example that you need it for. So yeah, 100% would recommend having a shutter release cable. And number 12, this is one of the more expensive items on this list. These are my photography gloves. They're from a company called PYGTECH, I think. I love these things. These done me so good throughout Iceland. They have a little Velcro so that you can get them on your hands easy. But the reason these are so good is because when you put them on your hand, obviously holding a camera when it's freezing cold isn't ideal without gloves. These make it so much easier because you can take and pin back the finger holes on your first 3 fingers, which means you can still hold the camera, your hands nice and warm and your fingers are warm, but you can still press buttons and access things really nice and easy. They're honestly one of the best things I've ever picked up, and I'd 100% recommend them in any sort of circumstances you would need gloves. As I said, in Iceland, I was out taking photos in -11, and these kept me nice and warm. They were absolutely perfect for everything I needed for them. So yeah, 100%. These are an absolute must-have if you like doing anything cold weather or night related. Just so useful. And number 13 on my list, I always carry around a camera flash. A lot of modern day cameras, or my camera specifically, does not have a built-in flash. This just sits a little bit higher up. You can angle the light however you like. You can put accessories on there. This comes with some sort of reflector on the front. Again, really good bit of kit. I use this a lot for weddings. It's really useful. It's battery powered, which is the only shame. Obviously you can get rechargeable ones, but this has done me really, really well for years. You just hot shoe it onto the top of your camera and it seems to connect straight away. So yeah, again, something I will always recommend having, especially if your camera doesn't have a flash. But it's nice to have one of these if you do have a built-in flash, because it sits above and hopefully won't get blocked out by the lens. So you can angle it how you want, and it's just a much better bit of kit to have with you. So I'll always recommend having a flash. On number 14 on my list, I always like to carry around a dust blower. It helps you get a little bit of extra stuff off your lens. You just literally, just like a little rocket, you just blow stuff, dust comes away nice and easy. It's so useful to have. If you don't want to wipe your lens for any particular reason, there's a couple of big bits of extra dust on there. Blow it off, then give it a wipe, and everything should be nice and clean. Really useful to have one of these, and especially if you're working on like a shiny surface where you don't want fingerprints and things, for like product photography, for example. Give it a quick blow, get the dust off there, then give it a wipe, and you should be all good to go without scratches and stuff. 100% recommend having one of these. We used to use these a lot for scanning film when I was at university. A great addition to any camera bag. At number 15, I always like to carry around a little multi-tool in my camera bag. This has just got a couple of screwdrivers and stuff on there, so you can screw things in if you need. It's got a couple of Allen keys as well. These are so useful to keep in your bag, especially, for example, if you have a tripod. Something like having a little flathead screwdriver can really help screw in the base of your tripod so that your camera stays nice and sturdy, because they are such a pain in the arse to screw in at times, which is why I always carry a penny just in case within my SD card box, because screwing them in can be so annoying. So I like to carry one of these. This can just be a really cheap one. As long as it's got a flathead, you'll be alright. But they're just such useful tools to keep with you if you just need to do any quick repairs or anything, or prise stuff open and shit. Yeah, it's really good. And now for my final thing on this list, number 16, I like to carry a head torch. Again, particularly useful for night photography. This is an OEX one, it's rechargeable, but it's really good. It's got a load of different modes. You can do motion on and off, which is good. I don't tend to use that, I just rather flick it on and off quick. But say you're doing night photography and you can't see a damn thing, it's so useful to be able to just quickly get one of these on instead of getting your phone out every time. It's just on your head, you just press the button, nice and easy. And yeah, it's just something I'll always carry with me because I know the importance of being able to see when you're doing work. It really helps, and obviously if you was in a pinch, you can use it as a little extra light source. This one's dead. But yeah, it's again really useful thing to have, and it charges up really quick and easy, so 100% recommend having one. So that was it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. If there's anything you want me to go into more detail on, and let me know in the comments, and I can do a separate video or a short replying. But yeah, these are just things that I like to carry in my camera bag every time I go out, because they're really useful things to have. All of them are quite small and cheap, so it shouldn't be too hard to get your hands on. Again, just things that I find really essential when you're traveling. If you have to go out of your house for a shoot or something, for example, say you don't have a home studio, really useful on location things. I do a lot of car photography, find that little light really useful if it's getting just a little bit dark on the interiors. So yeah, just something that can help. A lot of these things you might not need, you might not want, but again, this is just my opinion on things that you might find really useful, things that I carry about all the time. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you soon. Have a good one.